never happened before.
Hey guys, welcome to this episode of the Trainer Feed. We are your hosts. My name is Jacques Delagere. I'm joined by DB and AS. Boys, how we feeling?
I'm feeling good, man. Did you hear that sound, or was that just on my end?
No, I heard that. You
I
are
heard
being
that. That was
recorded.
weird.
Yeah, Zoom is stepping up. I couldn't even send invites through the regular way. I had to go into my calendar and send invites like that.
It's weird. But you guys feeling good?
Yes, we're feeling good.
Wonderful. All right, so we're having today our guest Chloe Levray. She is a trainer based in Los Angeles. She has since founded her own company in the past year, but we will let her do the talking. Let's bring her on, and we're excited to have her on and pick her brain about that. Chloe, what's
up, Chloe?
up?
How's it going, Chloe?
Hello.
What's going on?
Look at that
How's
mic
it
setup.
going?
We love it.
Oh,
when
you know.
Oh, you got our package?
I thought I'd do a little something.
How you feeling this week?
Good. Really
Yeah.
good. Yeah. Yeah, it's
Good.
been a solid week.
Busy?
Yes, very busy.
Have any plans
Good.
for Memorial Day
Very
weekend?
busy. No, I normally don't. Actually, what am I talking about? I normally do. I usually go to Telluride, Colorado for a film festival. But obviously because of COVID,
Still not a thing yet.
yeah,
Not
like it's
happening?
very, very limited.
Mm.
And then obviously last year it didn't happen. So I haven't been in a couple of years, which has been very unfortunate because it was my week to kind of reset, go hiking, be in nature, like watch amazing documentaries. It's like the best week of my year. So I've been missing it.
Yeah, I feel like you posted about that in the past as well when you're on there. Yeah, we've got to go to
Yeah.
Colorado.
It's a wonderful trip. Yeah.
So thank you again for joining us. We really want to pick your brain about founding Continua, but just if you can, for our listeners, give us a brief introduction to how you got into in this industry and how you got to Continua.
Yeah.
So our listeners know a little bit.
So I was a sports medicine student at Pepperdine, graduated in, I won't name the year because that will age me. But I had to have an internship, and I started working at this sports performance facility called Velocity. And from there, I met a lot of Equinox ex-Equinox coaches, we'll call them. And they basically highly encouraged me to apply to Equinox because they saw my drive and my curiosity for the industry. And so I applied, didn't get the job. Three applications later, I got the job. And worked hard to get all the way to the top. I became a Tier X coach after 4 years of working for the company. And when the pandemic hit, things just kind of shifted for me. I learned a lot, and I kind of just wanted to apply my knowledge and apply my skill set to a broader audience. And so when the pandemic hit, things just kind of started rolling for me. And I realized that it was only when we had to stay at home that I realized that my health was depreciated, that my mindset was off, my sleep was terrible, all these different things. And I kind of had an epiphany that I just don't think I could go back. And so I didn't. I decided to resign. And but my love for this industry is still, it's tenfold now. So I wanted to, like I said, apply everything that I've learned in the past decade to create my own business. And so that is kind of that's the birth of Continua, my company. So yeah, we're a health and vitality company that merges music, culture, health and vitality through experiences, through movement experiences, and through our podcast. So we also have a podcast.
Yeah, I've been listening to it, and I think that's what's really. First of all, you guys have a great show, and you have some really awesome guests on there. I love who you brought on, and then getting to know you as well through that. But something, your co-founder, Aaliyah, her name.
Aaliyah,
and right, and was something that she spoke about. Maybe I'm making this up. I definitely remember hearing this. She felt that she went to classes. The music wasn't like the rhythm wasn't going with the class, and that was something that helped inspire you guys to come up with Continua or that direction.
Absolutely, yes. So yeah, she has a background in dance. She danced at USC and was a PR marketing undergrad, and then she got her master's in business and entrepreneurship. And so she danced all the way through college, and her mom is an integrative nutritionist or health coach. And so health has always been a very important part of her life. And so she wanted to use her skill sets to create a company that she was passionate about. And, so she used to take classes, group fitness classes, things like that. She has a very like athletic build. And so a lot of instructors never really paid any attention to her because they thought, oh, she's got it. Like she's probably a coach herself.
Yeah.
She knows what she's doing, that kind of thing. So that always really bothered her, that she didn't get that attention that she wanted because she actually didn't really know what she was doing. And then, of course, the music aspect, having a dance background, she is very in tune with rhythm and tempo and things like that. And is just kind of like a music aficionado as well. And so, when hearing the music in group fitness classes, she was always dissatisfied, we'll say.
That's fair.
Dissatisfied. And so, when she met me, we talked we exchanged each other's backgrounds, and I was kind of what she was missing, and, she was what I was missing because I have no business background, or no, proper business background, we'll say. And so, yeah, we are essentially, our goal is to fill a need of, or really a need that maybe people don't even realize that they do need. But we want to let the music curator do his or her thing. So our movement experiences are with a live DJ, and the DJ does they create the set, they create, they pick the music, everything. And what I do as the movement coach is it's a tempo based experience that is paired with, this music. And my goal is basically to get people to be more mobile, more stable, more agile, and stronger. And in doing all of that, the goal is to be in less dull pain or prevent injury.
100%. Yeah, that's a big deal.
Yeah. I definitely feel like that has been a missing piece in group fitness classes. A lot of my clients have gone to group fitness classes prior to working with me, and they've gotten hurt in some sort of capacity. And so when I work with someone, one of my rules is I'm not allowing you to go to a group fitness class until we establish a baseline for you, until we establish some sort of foundation for you. So then you're able to go and take all of these, classes that are super fun, super,
enjoy them, be safe.
Enjoyable. Yeah. Exactly. But at the same time, like we're not trying to hurt you. Like that's, you're trying to save your body. So it's the only thing
How many sessions before you let them go to the group fitness classes?
I'd say about 2 months.
Okay.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you got to build that foundation, right?
Exactly. And it's kind of funny because usually they don't even end up going to group fitness classes because they just like training so much.
I wanted to circle back to the music aspect of it.
Yeah.
Did you notice that there was any sort of tie-in between modifying tempo and how that helps people move, or how that helps people go from like fight or flight to kind of that rest and digest? How have you noticed, or if there's any connection, have you noticed anything?
Yeah. So my methodology incorporates some breath work. And so kind of like a yoga class, we start on our backs and we start with diaphragmatic breathing. So my goal there is to basically, erase or have people kind of set the tone for the class, for the experience, and kind of forget everything that's going on in their lives just in this hour. Pay as much attention to their bodies as possible. So that's kind of the baseline is the breath work.
I think that's a cool idea. It's one of those things that people are starting to put pieces together. We had another kind of different, but we had another guest on who was talking about how he was kind of tying in functional movement and evolutionary movement and seeing how the body should move based on evolutionary, kind of like evolutionary movement patterns, as opposed to what we call like functional. But yeah, this seems like you're creating your own lane. Like he was creating his own lane. It seems like you're creating something different, and it's going to take time to get that feedback, but it really is interesting stuff.
Thank you.
Do you find like it's difficult to find people who are like interested in trying to do that? Do you find like people get more excited to try to dabble in that world? Because I know right now, especially after COVID, we're all trying to figure out more about ourselves. It gave us that pause, time to reflect. Have you noticed any of that? Like people just like flooding in through the doors, or like people like slowly like, hey, I'm curious about this. Can you tell me a little bit more?
Yeah, it's definitely the latter. Especially because it's been COVID, people are very hesitant to even walk outside their doors still, know? So, it's a difficult, Continua is difficult to explain to people because it's something brand new. So we kind of usually say you just kind of have to experience it to understand it, and then you can create your own definition for it. But when we do explain it to people, they automatically think it's a dance class because we say it's tempo-based movement paired with a live DJ. They're like, oh, like Zumba.
I love Zumba. Yeah, I was gonna say Zumba. Oh no,
not like Zumba.
No, not Zumba.
Not like Zumba. But I mean, we understand why people think, they automatically think it's a dance class. We get it. But like I said, yeah, we just feel like people have to experience it to truly understand it. Because I'm basically taking my personal training background, my coaching background, and bringing it into a group fitness space. So the programming is as if I'm programming for a client,
That's cool. It just really quick, is it like small groups, large groups, medium groups? Like how many people are in a typical Continua class?
So it depends. It depends. We're kind of expanding right now, expanding and exploring. But we have a partnership with this yoga studio called Moto Yoga LA, and I believe their max capacity in their rooms, depending on their location, because they have 3 locations in LA, is I believe it's like 20 to 35, maybe something like that, in one class. But we are, we're not limiting ourselves to that number. It's just going to depend on the event.
Okay. Yeah. And I'm sure there's a sweet spot too, right? Like when you start to figure out how many coaches do you need for how many clients that are in that class?
That's exactly what we're exploring right now.
How much is too much? Because then you have like 5 bodies. If you have 1 for each person there, then it might be too much, and people might just be like all over the place versus just like 1 or 2 people for maybe 10 or 15.
Absolutely.
How do you come up with the music? I mean, like music, especially if I forget my headphones at home and I'm trying to go work out, it's a dub. It's like, oh shit, I really don't want to go squat right now. I kind of need my music. Is each class tailored to a specific? I mean, it's tempo based, so does each class a specific tempo, therefore specific genre of music? Do you have people that are saying, "Hey, can you change the song?" or anything like that? You know,
we haven't experienced that yet. Let's hope we never do. Our DJ is pretty phenomenal. He's a pretty like well-known DJ who's been on tour multiple times with pretty well-known people, so he definitely knows what he's doing. So in terms of music, we let him kind of do his thing. So it could be it could be Afro beats paired with hip hop, paired with some like more so mellow music kind of at the end for the cool down, things like that. But there's an eclectic mix for sure.
How do you try to or how do you reach out to the people and say, hey, group fitness isn't such a bad thing, or the other way around, like you should try personal training and not only do the classes because of X, Y, and Z?
Our intention is not to be a replacement for personal training nor group fitness.
Yeah.
We're creating a space that is almost you are preparing your body for group fitness. And in between group fitness, you can do personal training. Like we're not trying to replace, we're trying to be an addition.
I like that because one thing that I notice, at least from some of my clients, is they'll do a lot of group fitness classes and then they'll come back from that and you have them do like a deadlift or a bent over row. Any hinges, for whatever reason, hinges are just like terrible. If it's not on the floor, it's like people can't hinge. But they've been doing they start doing group fitness classes and they've been getting those reps in. And I would appreciate if there was some sort of like foundation, which you spoke about earlier, and then also an assessment or something like that, because I think that really helps people. That helps us as coaches know where they're at from a movement and injury perspective. And I feel like that's kind of like a miss, because if people are in these large group settings, they might not feel comfortable, or you might not even have the time to go through like the complete medical history. So it's cool that you're creating your own space to kind of have that, combination.
Thank you.
Because I've seen, in places that do group fitness, having a room of 20 people do a Turkish getup, and it's like, okay, like, you have...
It's hard enough for one person sometimes coaching, right?
Absolutely. I think that, yeah, definitely. I totally agree. I'm going off of my own experience and how I learn. And I finally realized, in high school, didn't realize it, college, never realized it, but I am not just a visual learner. I'm not just an auditory learner. I need visual, auditory, and kinesthetic. Like I need all three to truly understand, what I'm learning. And so I'm bringing that into Continua as well. So with obviously my demos, me talking through the demo, but then also walking around and being able to correct people and, apply external cues to people. That's like super, super important to me, because I want them to feel what they're supposed to feel, because they might not be auditory learners. Like maybe my words don't mean anything to them. Maybe they're not visual learners, but I feel like everyone, if they actually feel in their actual bodies, then it sticks.
Definitely. How do you program the classes? Is there a way that you could progress somebody, or do you have suggested sort of like list of, okay, you took this class, maybe the next class is X, Y, and Z?
Yeah, starting off very basic. Like think of a new client. How would you start them off? Granted, I'm not doing an assessment with anyone. That's not where I want Continua to go. because I think like throughout my career, I've realized that most people have very similar imbalances. Mm-hmm. And, you know, most people don't know how to hinge. Most people don't really use their posterior chains. Most people have desk jobs. Most people have rounded shoulders. So I am using that knowledge and I'm applying it to the programming. So it might not be exactly tailored to each person, but I know that they're going to get something out of it. And I'm okay with that.
Good. And I also think that people will also speak up too. If they feel like they need a little bit of something, they'll more than likely speak up and say something, because the other thing is, go ahead.
No, sorry. I was just going to say, and I'm more than happy to answer questions throughout the experience. If they want to come to me after and ask questions, I'm an open book, so they can come to me and, you know, anything. I'm very open to that.
For real. I feel like sometimes we place too much stress sometimes on like the FMS, and it's like, you got to do rotary stability. And if you're a 1 on rotary stability, if you're a 1-3, then we're going to have to do some groundwork for the first 3 months. It's like,
right. And that's exactly how I used to be, because I'm a very, very, very meticulous person. Mm-hmm. And I always thought, like, if it's not exactly right, because that's how I treat myself, you know, and I've realized, like, I can't treat everyone else the way that I treat myself. Mm-hmm. Because people aren't as passionate, like, you know, they're not in this industry. Yeah. Like, so they don't, not to say they don't care as much, but maybe they don't care as much.
I was going to ask you about the Krebs
the priorities are different. Exactly. Yeah. The priorities are different.
Mm-hmm. No one came in for, I want a 3 in my overhead squat. That's all I want. Right.
Correct. Exactly.
No one comes in saying that.
Exactly. Unless they're an athlete.
Unless they're a great cook or someone, you know.
Right. Right. And unless their sport, you know, requires that. Yeah. Exactly.
So I know you're of French descent, and I want to ask you this because I went to Paris as recently as 2 years. Okay. And I know there's no equinoxes. I know someone's told me about the fitness industry is still, I don't know if growing is the right word, but it's like in the UK, it's a lot more present, and in France, it's it's kind of still brewing. So, being of French descent, do you have any desire to take your company? I'm hoping globally, but like to French speaking markets as well, because you probably speak it better than me. Actually, I'm pretty confident you
do. Yes. I definitely
yes to
do.
Both.
Yeah. No. Oh my gosh. Well, I haven't even heard you speak French, so I don't know.
You probably don't want to. It's all good.
I mean, you were closer to France than I was growing up, but I did go to a French school, so we might be even.
Maybe at the end, if we have time, we'll have a.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll have time,
He's ready. We got plenty of time. Tu veux parler un petit peu?
Un petit peu, si on veut, ouais. Un tout petit peu.
Un tout petit peu, oui.
Comme ci, comme ça. And that's what every person who can barely speak goes.
DML on him?
DML?
Like Spanish up top.
I know, right?
That and the Dexter reference that David has.
Omelette du fromage.
Omelette du fromage.
Oh my gosh. Literally, that is the first sentence that my fiance ever said to me, because he found out that I was French, and he was like, I know French, you know, and then he says omelette du, and I never even watched, like, I didn't grow up watching Dexter's Laboratory, so I didn't even know where it was from. I was like, what is this sentence? What is this random
what the hell are you saying?
Like, hey, he likes omelets. Fair play. Like, he's talking breakfast to me. All right,
omelets. Like, that's
I'm sorry, I didn't want to derail from the initial question about going global or French market. Sorry.
But yeah, bringing it to the French market, you've gone to France more recently than I have. I think the last time I was there was 2017, 18. I went there for Christmas.
2019, I was there, yeah.
Okay, yeah. I did notice that CrossFit was a big thing.
That's what I was going to say. CrossFit is very
CrossFit gyms
present.
were popping up everywhere.
France, Italy, all those places. Huge.
Because last time I was there, my last trip before the 2017 trip, I mean, no one really exercises in France because you walk everywhere. You walk everywhere, and the food is just, it's not as it's rich but it's not rich in chemicals.
It's a priority as well for them. They don't do food on the go. It's a sit down meal, right?
It is. It's a 4 hour. It's a 4 hour gathering.
American cuisine is not compared to other countries. I mean,
the culture behind different. Not taking this to go. It's no. This is. I don't know if it's still the same, but maybe this is in small towns, but in France, some towns, the bank or whatever will close for 2 hours because they're closed for lunch. Like they're not.
Oh no, that's exactly
right?
it. That's closed for 2 hours. They're closed all of Sunday. There are no businesses, and if you go to France in August, no businesses will be.
They're all on vacation.
That's vacation month.
Yeah.
Jesus. You know, they literally take an entire month to be on vacation and to rest and to reset. And
I have so many questions about that. Like, who can you go to the museum? Can you go eat at a restaurant or no?
Like, yeah, no, you can't. You
can. I was being a little hyperbolic, but
a lot of
especially kind of small businesses. Yeah. You know, they close and
I see what you're saying.
It's family time and they go on vacation.
If there's a fire,
for sure on Sundays,
you gotta wait a month.
No, truly, yeah. Like if you're trying to be like in the happenings in France, don't go in August.
Yeah, that's what's quietest. That's one of
because everyone's gone. Yeah.
But so you were saying so CrossFit gyms are opening, right? I noticed that too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that I feel like in Europe, maybe, I mean, I guess I don't know all of Europe, but especially in France, they're always like 5 steps behind. 5 steps behind in athletics, 5 steps behind in music, 5 steps behind.
It's interesting you say that about athletics though, because I'm not arguing against it, but I feel that the France fields so many impressive athletes in so many different sports. So I find that quite interesting that gyms are, or going what you're saying, they feel like they're behind. Because I feel whether it's, I'm going to say football, not soccer, or other athletic, when you see the Olympics, they have so many talented athletes in so many different realms, so many different sports.
I think in terms of fitness industry stuff, I mean,
yes, that's what I was talking
like
about.
Because
I probably digress from
in every country.
Sports,
Yeah, so maybe I shouldn't have said athletics. I should have said maybe the gym culture.
The gym. Sorry, I misunderstood.
The influencing.
Because I totally agree with you.
Stuff.
Europe definitely breeds some phenomenal athletes.
100%.
Yeah.
But sorry, go on. So going from seeing that market, so they feel they're a few steps behind in France. Because England, I feel you have a few equinoxes in London. It's growing a little bit. Gym culture is definitely similar to the US, not quite the same.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know if that's it being an English-speaking country. People listening to this might think that's a crazy statement, but I don't know if
it's hard to say. I will say that, you know, French people definitely have a lot of pride in their country, pride for their country. And there might be a little bit of stubbornness in there somewhere, in terms of like keeping up with the times. But I mean, I can't truly say, but that is a theory.
They have some of the best. Dave and Angel, you guys haven't been to France yet, right?
No, you're supposed to take us on that Europe trip. You're supposed to be our
Euro
guide.
trip.
That's right.
There we go. Boys Euro trip.
I've only ever been to Germany and Austria, but that was
nice. Oh, I've been to Austria.
Those are beautiful countries.
Beautiful. Oh my gosh,
so clean,
so
as well.
Beautiful, so clean, so green, so green. I was in Vienna, and it was just like, wow.
Isn't Vienna? Vienna is you see it and you think, oh, okay, I know where the taxis go because it's clean.
Literally,
it's so true. It's just so clean.
Yeah,
and
it was spotless. So
I
true.
feel it's a pretty happening city as well.
I don't even remember where I went. I just know I went to Germany and Austria.
I guess Dave went to all the bars, which probably wasn't hard to find though.
I was like, bro, I was
right.
Like, how old was I? I think I was
one on every corner.
Like 13. Like 13 or 14.
Did you go in October? There was this big party going on. They called it like Oktoberfest.
I went during Easter, and oh my god, I went during Easter because I went to a Catholic school. So we went this excursion during Easter. So I know we went to Hamburg.
Okay.
I know we went there.
North, yeah.
And then we went to church on a Sunday to try to listen to whatever. And I'm not very religious anymore, so I really don't. But I remember after, I think, an hour of standing at the freaking whatever cathedral this was, the teacher was like, right, let's go. We're out of here. Because first, it was, I think, I don't even know what language it was in. It wasn't in, I think it was in Latin. The whole thing. Didn't understand a word. And we're just standing there because there's nowhere to sit. There's nothing, like, just packed. And the teacher was like, if anyone asks, we were here for the whole time. So let's just go.
That's crazy.
So
they
funny.
flew you from New York
Crazy.
all the way over there to stand in front of a church to be like, all right, we're done.
But it was beautiful. I definitely love to go again. It's so different from New York, you know?
But New York is so different to the rest of the US as well. I think, Chloe, when I spoke to you, you mentioned you had a project in New York for one summer, right? Am I right in saying that?
Yes, through Equinox,
right? And it was like a summer project.
I got chosen for their accelerator program, where, I mean, basically I got to pitch an idea that I had to the president, vice president, like VP of like marketing. There were a lot of people in the room. But yeah, we spent the whole week in New York meeting every single Equinox department. We were at Equinox corporate, and they were helping us basically develop this pitch for the company. And then at the end of the week, we got to pitch to them. So that was a really cool experience. And I definitely, my New York experience was jaded a little bit. When I got home, I said to my then boyfriend, I think I'm ready. Like, I think I want to move to New York. Like, it seems like I felt like I really fit in. And he was like, weren't you staying like at a really nice hotel and you had like all your meals comped and you had like a stipend and you could like,
there you go.
He was like, that wouldn't be your experience if you moved there. Are you kidding me?
Here, you look at your apartment, you're like, the hotel room was bigger than this shit.
Yeah. The bathroom was bigger than my whole apartment.
Like, wasn't everything paid for? Like,
yeah. Rent? What?
I was like, you right.
No.
Oh, $3,000 that all I get is a shoebox for my apartment.
Yeah.
Kind of, yeah. It's a little bit. There's a really good meme floating a year or two ago, and it was $2,500 for a bedroom in New York City. And it was like a mattress on the floor on the subway. And it's like, yep, here you go. That's your bedroom.
Oh my god.
Because it's a lot better now, but it's a little brutal, right?
I think the best thing is that when you go someplace else, you're never like shocked at the sticker price. Because growing up in New York, you've just seen so many crazy prices for things. Yeah. You're just like, all right, I mean,
same with Los Angeles, though.
That's true.
Same with Los Angeles. I'm not shocked at prices anymore either.
Dude, going somewhere else when you're from New York. I remember I went to.
You feel like a king, don't you? You feel like a king. You're like, oh my god, I can buy drinks for everyone in here. Or I can buy food for everyone.
Even I went to, I forgot where I went, and they're just so nice. Like, they were asking how your day was.
Right, in New York, you don't have time for that.
And my New York ass is like, "Hell, you talking to me about? Like, what? What do you want?" And then later, and afterwards, it's kind of like, "Oh no, he was just being a nice person." Like,
that's funny because here in LA, people ask you like how you are, but they actually don't really care.
It's saying hello, right?
It's similar. It's like people in New York don't even ask you how you are, but like, people in LA ask you how you are, but they actually don't. They really don't care for your response. It's almost like an automatic.
I think it's more messed up.
I think that's more messed up. That's really mean.
No, I agree.
That's like you're acting like you care.
Yeah,
just don't care.
It's almost like how are you is synonymous to hi now here.
What's going on?
So like when you pass by someone on the street, people ask like how are you? But then they keep it trucking. Like they
don't look at you.
Yeah.
Deuces.
So there's a guy in my corner that's always like, "How are you?" I'm like, "I got no money," and I just keep walking.
That's messed up.
I know. I feel bad. And they're like, "Hey, you guys, I'm sorry." And like, when you've got like a bag of something you just bought,
it's hard because you don't carry around loose change anymore. I mean, at least I don't. Like, what do you want? Do you have a little square for your phone that I could like swipe my debit card and give you $1? Like,
what's your
hard.
Venmo? Let me Venmo you.
Venmo,
right? Hey, listen. But yeah.
I tend to just give food now.
I'm really bit, I mean, too. Especially with leftovers after a night out. So I'm not gonna be able to eat this, but I know someone will want to eat this.
My business partner Leah is like, she's really, really good at that.
Okay.
That's good.
When she doesn't finish a meal, she always gives it to a homeless person.
I mean,
it could be crazy how much food is wasted too, right? As well.
Yeah.
Dude, after things are closed, especially in the Upper West Side, when I'm walking home from work, the coffee places are closing or whatever, and then you see these bags of bagels, these bags of just bread.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
On the like just there
it's
waiting
insane.
to be. I'm like, this is fucking ridiculous. Like I would totally take it. I'm like, this is insane.
Right. And like at restaurants, well, I don't think actually at restaurants they really do this anymore. But when they used to give you bread for the table,
yeah.
And if you didn't even touch it, they would still have to throw it away.
It's crazy. I know it's
so wasteful.
Crazy. But hey, if you try to give it to a homeless person, it always reminds me of the scene of the movie Scary Movie. Do you guys remember that? Like the first Scary movie.
Oh, when he throws it back at her.
So yeah, so he's like, "Can you spare Can you spare some change?" She's like, "Oh, here you go, sir." Like a nice sandwich, and then she keeps walking, and he's like, "I asked for $1." Throws it back at her.
That's pretty funny. I guess there is always that fear that they're going to reject what you give to them.
Yeah, but that's something I was going to mention was there was I don't worry where we had some leftovers. And I'm not joking. I had to go to 3-4 people to ask, "Do you want this?" Like, no, it's fine. I'm thinking, I'm not assuming anything, but I would have thought I could have gotten rid of it pretty easily. I mean, it was food from that same night, and and even with shoes and boots, it's interesting. It's so, you mentioned about like people asking how you are and stuff, and it's so interesting. There's one guy who's homeless. I assume he's homeless on the Upper West Side of New York City. And I had like snow boots that had a hole in them. I said, "What size are you?" I have. He's like, "No, it's fine. I'm really fine. Thank you though. How are you though?" Like, and just having a conversation, I was like, "Wow, you have almost nothing. You are possibly in a very terrible state, but you still ask how the person you're talking to is, right?" And he even said, "No, I'm fine, thank you. But if you leave them by the subway, someone will take them." So it's like, it's just so. It was like, damn. Even someone who might seem like they don't have much going on in their life is still so nice, maybe life hasn't treated them that well, but so it just makes me think of that. But
that's just good heart.
Yeah,
good heart, good character.
Pure heart. Absolutely. I did want to ask you real quick before we wrap up. I know you're big on mental health. What do you think is the lowest hanging fruit for your or our clients?
Sleep.
I had a feeling you'd say that.
People are resistant to that too. Isn't that
people
crazy?
Are very resistant to it. Resistant. I am obsessed with sleep. And maybe because of my past experiences with, I thought I could get by with,
less.
5.5, 5 hours, 45, even 6. And now that I'm getting, my 7 to 9, my brain is so much more awake, alert. I'm so much more efficient with my time. I just think better. I can learn things faster. Like there's just so many positive benefits to sleep. And I do think it is the lowest hanging fruit because everyone has to sleep. Like it's not like we all have access to sleep.
Yes, I was going to say that.
It's not like it's food related. It's not like it's gym related. Mindset is difficult to change. So mindset and sleep are, we can go back and forth with that. But I mean,
because as you said, everyone can do it.
Yeah.
And I don't know if we had this conversation, but when people are trying to find the next hack, the next trick, the next game changer, less is more. And the basics are, there's so, as you just touched on, so many advantages when you have slept well or X amount of hours, and you can't, there's not enough caffeine that can overtake that, right? There's not enough people are trying to do this and that or supplementation, and
I'm gonna mute David so that he can't speak on the caffeine point.
Just get that pre-workout to the dome.
But that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like when people are like, what should I take? And like, it's all different. Some feel like, what protein should I take? And it's similar to the sleep aspect with recovering, right? So just eat clean, eat well, and eat like good nutrient dense food. Yeah. And recovery is the same thing, right? Like what should I do for my rest day? Like just make sure you prioritize the sleep.
And I do think that there are so many ways to get to the same destination. Like there's so many different paths to get good sleep. You just have to ask the right questions and know who you're, know your audience, know who you're talking to. It could be, I mean, the most obvious is probably screens before bed. That's a big one. But also it could be like sound. It could be, anxiety, heart just going.
Temperature.
Room temperature.
Yes, that's a big one.
Absolutely.
About,
Oh my gosh. That's a big one. Yeah.
You wake up all sweaty like shit.
It's the worst.
Right. Yeah. So it could be as simple as obviously lowering the temperature in your apartment, but it could also be as simple as taking off a cover on your bed. And that could make the difference, So I just feel like there's so many different ways that we can get someone to get better sleep and better quality sleep. I would say quality is probably more important than quantity. So if you're getting like, I guess I would rather someone get like a quality, 4 hours than, a pretty, can I curse on this podcast? I don't remember.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, okay. I was just gonna say a pretty like shitty, 7 hours or pretty shitty 6 hours, because then there's an opportunity to take a nap in the middle of the day.
I was just about to ask about naps.
Yes, because our bodies like our circadian rhythms naturally dip in the middle of the day at around like 2 to 4. So if we take, a 20-minute nap, an hour nap, and max, a full REM cycle, hour and a half, then it's almost like a pick me up for people. It's like a reset.
I've done that just
for me sometimes.
Oh, because then you get in that
that
phase where you're just like the brain fog and you're like, I need more.
There are times where I've done a Nappuccino. You guys ever heard of
Nappuccino? What's a Nappuccino?
So Nappuccino is where you go to your coffee place, get yourself some espresso or a cold brew coffee, whatever you gauge was that one, and chug it. Or if it's espresso, like a 2-shot, just take it down the door and then you just go to bed or take a nap. 20 minutes. And then as you get up, the caffeine would have already taken effect.
I'm only laughing because I know about that.
Interesting. So you're saying that it takes 20 minutes for the actual caffeine to kick in?
Yeah.
I guess it depends on how sensitive you are too.
Yeah, also, yeah. You can't talk to me about caffeine because I literally haven't. I've maybe had 2 sips of coffee in my entire life.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh man, I kind of forced myself to like coffee. Growing up, my parents big on coffee.
It's a cultural thing.
Yeah, and whenever I go to where my parents are from, it's like breakfast. Do you want some coffee? Sure.
Right.
Coffee?
It's like
sure. Dinner. Do you want some coffee? Sure.
Right.
Well,
I guess even in France, coffee.
France is a lot about that too. Yeah, my dad. I never drink coffee. My dad's like, "You want some coffee?" I'm like, "This shit hasn't changed in 20, 30 years."
And he still asks you. It's a
he still
asks,
but he asks me every single time I come over for lunch. You want coffee? I was like, I don't. I just.
And
it's like yes. Coffee at almost every meal too. It's like always like,
but it's also.
Did you get this?
Yeah. It's also small. It's not like a pint with like sugar and crap and caramel, and it's just straight coffee.
Yeah.
But I'm like you. I don't really drink either.
Man.
What'd you say, David?
You die with Cuban coffee. I grew up with a lot of Cubans.
Yeah.
And Egypt probably knows this, and the way they do it is so they have you get the little mocha pot, right? The stovetop coffee maker. You get a little bit of a Café Bustelo, right? Shout out. Hopefully, maybe we get sponsored. No, but
love it.
And
plug it in.
Okay, before we wrap up, I don't want to take any more of your time. But so what they do is right as the coffee's coming out of the little spout, they'll get a little a spoon, get some of the creamy coffee, put it in a little thing with just regular powdered sugar, and they would whip it until it becomes just like a different consistency, and then they would pour the coffee on it. And you would see walking around how they would go and ask for a cafecito, and they have like a big cup of it with little shot glasses. And on the street, the guys are just out there chilling, and then this one guy is walking around with the little coffee and little shot glass, giving it to people, and that's just like basically diabetes. That's all it is.
Diabetes
started off coffee, and
totally. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Anyway,
yeah, we didn't. that could be a whole conversation. It could be a whole hour conversation. And I didn't get a chance to talk to you guys about like sleep and neuroplasticity, but maybe that could be another conversation.
That's 100% something we would love to talk more about, because I know you speak about it in your episodes, and I know Dr. Jennifer Martin was a guest in yours, and there was some really, but there's also another neuroscientist you had on in an earlier episode. I want to say, right?
Alicia,
so you guys,
yes, Alicia, yeah, she's a neuroscience specialist. Yeah, she was our very first episode.
Right, that's what I think.
We didn't talk about neuroplasticity with her. We talked about neuroplasticity with our sports psychologist, Chloe.
I don't think
Chloe Molesky.
That was the one. Okay, make sure.
There's that book by Dr. Sanjay Gupta, right? Something like he was promoting it on CNN once about like how to keep sharp, and he's a neurosurgeon. He was talking about
I think cardiovascular exercise and
something like that, and it's giving you things about how to sort of basically keep sharp as you grow old, especially in your brain. So definitely got picked up.
I'm so fascinated by all of that, and I don't know if you guys know who Andrew Huberman is, but
don't think so.
He's a neurobiologist and ophthalmologist at Stanford.
Okay.
And he has his own podcast called the Huberman Lab, and it's basically like an entire curriculum.
Just listen to it. Okay, I need new stuff to listen to. What is it again? The what?
Huberman Lab.
The Huberman Lab. Okay,
yeah.
I have it here.
Andrew Huberman. He's phenomenal.
Huberman Lab. I'm gonna make note of this so that I can.
All right, Chloe, where can the people find out more about you and your upcoming projects? Feel free to plug it in, and we'll wrap up.
Okay, perfect. So you can find us on Instagram at the Continua. Our website is thecontinua.com. And you can also DM me personally on my Instagram, which is Chloe Levray, my first and my last name.
Cool. Awesome. Thank you so much, Chloe. It was such a pleasure having you on here.
Thank you guys for having me.
Thanks, Chloe.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
So next time we have you on, we'll be able to touch into neuroplasticity. Blah, just
neuroplasticity.
That.
I knew he was gonna do it. He always does that. Neuroplasticity.
Reset.
Say that again, Jacques.
No, we're gonna leave that there.
No, we'll leave that in. Gotta keep it fresh.
We'll keep it in, but try to redeem yourself.
Neuroplasticity.
There you go.
There we go.
He's bilingual.
Boom.
It's a big word. It's a big word.
A big word, yeah. Chloe, thank you so much. We hope you enjoy the rest of your day and have a good weekend.
Thank you.
Thank you. Chloe. You too.
See you later.
Bye.
Hey, take care. Bye.
See ya.
That was a great conversation. That was awesome.
Cool.
Very good. Yeah, I got Andrew Huberman. I'm gonna check out his podcast.
Because I have to expand my podcast library beyond hockey. It's a little consuming.
Where are the Islanders at right now? I know it's crazy. I fell asleep, woke up. The Knicks won game 2.
Let's go.
Sebastian moved to Chicago. I haven't been on Instagram or anything like that, and I see all these things. And then the Islanders
won game 6. Everyone was dogging them. Everyone was saying because they beat the top seed in the East. And David, I'm going, man. I went to game 4. I know Angel affects you, but guys, game 4 was fucking bananas. It might have been the best game I've ever been to, and I'm not shitting you.
Thanks for the invite.
Right? Dude, you wouldn't have gone with the ticket prices anyway.
Oh.
No, I think no, it's just to say that no. It's to say I think only spending the amount I did, you would spend if you want to be there, really love it. Like I wouldn't have spent that much on the Knicks, is what I'm trying to say, right?
Okay, that's fine.
David, get out! Don't even.
That's fine, dude. It's okay. I'm sorry, I'm not tier 55.
No, it's not even about money. It's just about what someone would like. If I told you, you probably would be like, "There's no way to spend that much money." You're trying to derail me. Anyway, back on the train. This place was bumping, and it was 6,000 people for a 13,000 capacity place, but this place was absolutely buzzing. I lost my voice within the first 5 minutes, and it was just absolute. And it was just they played so well.
Speaking of losing stuff, did you find your AirPods?
No, my God, so mad. I'm actually
Dude, I
very
lost my
impatient
phone too. I got a new one now because the whole Find My iPhone shit is weird.
But Find My iPhone, apparently, I spoke to the guy in Apple because I got a new pair of headphones. I know it's bad, but I live with those headphones. So, He said, because I said to him, I said, look at the headphones. I showed you guys a picture. It's a block away. I said, can you just deactivate it so they can't at least use it? Like, I know if I don't record, no, they can't. Because I said to him, they can do that with your phone though. With your phone, they can deactivate it and they can't use it anymore.
Yeah, that's what I did. I have it to like erase. If it ever connects to the internet, it'll erase it. But that's also another thing. I'm like, why isn't it just like, just keep going? Like the way they do it is like, if it connects online, that's when you could look for it. That's when you could erase it, and that's when you could lock it.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, but if they don't connect, yeah. So it's a little. So it's all that. But everyone else here is good.
Good.
I actually got stung on Monday, and my legs started blowing up. I didn't tell you guys that.
Stung by what?
I don't know. In 2014, I got stung by a wasp in my arm. This is my parents, and my whole arm went up by the Michelin Man. I had to go to the hospital to get steroids, pump out all the inflammation. So my foot starts blowing up, and the doctor was like, "Oh, I'll be gone in 2 days." And in my head, I was thinking, you know those memes when people say like 2020 and they're like have the bad memories of like what 2020 was? In my head, I started getting the flashbacks of like being in hospital, like flushing out this, but it's fine. My ankle is actually kind of bruised from the inflammation, which is kind of crazy. So all in all, pretty standard week. And I'm moving apartment this weekend as well.
So you could go to a game and then also move apartments in New York. That's, good for you, bro. I'm
David, don't even go like that.
I'm playing.
Yeah, don't even come out. We need to do zone though. I haven't been able to do zone all week.
Me neither, man. I just did it like I think once or twice this week.
Charlie,
shout out, man. RP. Charlie bit my finger. Now the fucking NFT. Now they took that video down. It's crazy.
Do you remember that video, Angel?
Yeah, I remember it.
Charlie. that really hurt.
Charlie. We'll catch y'all in the next one.
Bye, guys. Charlie.